the vocals appear like fruit dropped not very far at all from the tree that is David Byrne.
Mhm.
I like it. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Audiophiles. My name's John. His name's Andy. Um, I have a secret to tell from my electrical well. It's a simple message. I'm leaving out the whistles and bells, so the room must listen to me. Filibuster vigilantly. My name is Blue Canary. One note spelled Lite. More on that later, perhaps. But first, we have a track to listen to, selected by Brother Andy. Andy, what have you got?
Got a band that I'm pretty sure you're familiar with. I just don't know how deep that familiarity runs. The band is called Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah, and the track is The Skin of My Country, Yellow Teeth.
Funny you should say that. I don't know how familiar I am with them either. I know they exist.
Oh, it's one of these.
I
Okay.
think I've got an album of theirs, but I'm not even going to look it up because I couldn't tell you what it's called. This song doesn't ring any bells. So whatever I've listened to hasn't stuck for whatever reason. And we've crossed this bridge many times,
Yes.
unfortunately, where you bring a song to the table and I go, that's great. And then I go, yeah, I've had it for 8, 10 years. And
Just haven't gotten around to listening to it. Yeah.
fuck's sake. So it could be one of those. It may not be. But yeah, I know of the band. I don't know what I know of them, but I just know I know of them. That's it. This might ring
Okay.
bells. This might not. Well, I guess there's one way of finding out.
Exactly. The only way. That's you going off and giving it a listen. And please do that and come back and let me know what you think, man.
Okay, will do. Very interesting. So wonky Casio like keyboard. We all love it. Then a really nice beat. There was a little shuffle on the hi hat there, which I really liked. And then this guitar, so you're getting like a normal sort of normal guitar in the left channel, just doing the notes, and then this one on the right that's higher, that's bending, and it sounds really similar to Heart Fog by Faith Healers, which I gave Andy ages ago, but it's really, really similar riff. Yeah, interesting. Sorry, I get all these references. I've point them out. So the bass line's coming. It's really melodic, and it's really familiar in terms of its invoking Hooky from New Order, sort of low life era. Yeah, really that bass, very similar. It's lovely bass. I love Hookie's bass. I love this. and the vocals coming in, and it's not the same, but it's kind of off that David Byrne cloth. Even the way he sings like an extended note at the start, like, and then the cadence afterwards, it's very, yeah, just like that. It's very David Byrne as well, which is great. These are all elements of stuff that I love. But it's not a facsimile. They're putting it together to create a sound which is, of their sound, and I'm really liking it. Yeah, it's all blended really well. And who knew that you could blend together Talking Heads and New Order? Fantastic.
No more talking. Haunted vibes, I just can't see anymore. But let me tell you, I never planned to let go of the magic taking my sick country skin to my yellow country tea. To my yellow country tea.
Guitars. Both guitars. Really nice.
Far, far away from West Virginia. I tried New York City, explaining that the sky holds a wind, the sun rushes in, the child with a shotgun to shoot down all the bees that sting. Oh, this boy can use a little sting. Alright.
Sorry, I was about to say, it's really nice synth parts over the top, just like decorating. Really, really nice. And I was thinking they're getting into that sort of what I call a jogging pace. The Talking Heads used to get into a groove and just go for it. But as the then guitar starts drumming more, it's again morphing into sort of New Order territory. It's all really nice though. I'm loving it. Really loving it. Okay. That was really enjoyable. I think first listen, you can't help yourself. Oh, I recognise this bit. I recognise it. Look how clever I am. You know, whatever. But you sort of latch on to familiarities. But through the song, just as he was like starting to really warble, you're thinking how much it's starting to get really talking heads, and then suddenly the guitars come strumming in. And you go, oh, this is really New Order. But it's not. It's the whole thing, isn't it? And I suspect that I will like this more and more the more I listen to it. Yeah, this is really it's really satisfying actually. Had an overall feel to it that was really it's great. It really was. Clearly, it's going into the next track on the album. We get these sounds like banjos warming up there, which is funny. Yes, I kind of know of the set of Clap Your Head Say Yeah, but I feel I definitely need to know more now. I've listened to this. Um, so let's get back and chew it over with Andy.
All right. So, what say you on yeah?
So first off, the thumbnail was familiar, but I couldn't tell you how or why. And the drawing looked like someone who's put a face on his thumb and then decorated it. One of those, which charmed me instantly.
Yeah, it is the human
Uh,
version of the hand turkey that we all did in elementary school.
yeah. So it starts off, and I'm brought to mind with these words. Hello, Cassio, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. So we'll get our friend, that country cousin, the wonky keyboard, comes in. And
We
we
love
just,
that cousin here.
we love it. We love it. He may have 11 toes, but we love him. And and it's joined by this thumping, catchy beat. And he slips in the odd as well, which I liked. And then we get some guitar parts. And we get what I would say a normal guitar in the left ear, straight guitar. And then in the right channel, this nice high guitar that's sort of resonating and note bending. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but that down 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 is almost exactly the same hook as the start of Heart Fog by the Faith Healers, which I had you listen to ages back.
Wow. Okay.
It's a real it's almost it's exactly the same. Really, I just not that they've got the monopoly on that sort of sound, but
Yeah.
it's just like struck me. This would happen again a couple of times in the song, different reference points. But yeah, so and then a melodic bass springs up, and it's all sounding very good. The vocals appear like fruit dropped not very far at all from the tree that is David Byrne.
Mhm.
I like it. Even like the extended note at the start of the line, and then the cadence of the words is this recognizable characteristic of his. I mean, it's not a rip-off of him, but it's just obviously it's in the same family tree.
Mhm.
And again, something I like, which is great. And this is a common theme throughout the song. As he starts singing, the bass starts to morph into what's clearly a Peter Hook part bass line from New Order,
Mhm.
Low Life era, which is one of my favorite ever sounding basses. So that's ticking boxes here. And then there's this twee little synth melody dancing over the top like frosting. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And the song has a certain energy to it, which is infectious. We go into the next part, and his vocals now seem to have an added touch of Tom Verlaine as well about them,
Mm.
which again is very pleasing. All of these elements of like hints from sources that I really enjoy or admire, but put together, the combination is pretty unique. And so they're clearly aware of what they like and how they want to sound. And it could come across as contrived or sort of, on trendy, as it were. But for me, this is a bouillabaisse of delight so far. Another verse, and we get that strumming guitar, another familiar sound, which is sort of great. It's interesting what he's singing. You get this soup song of Talking Heads, what I call their jogging mode, where they get into a groove and they just roll with it. And even when you see that, that famous live performance where they're all sort of running on the stage, it is the embodiment of that, which is great. And then when he stops singing, it kind of leaks into New Order with that bass and the guitars going, which is a morph of Joy Division. And what's not to like? It's just great. And if I'd have known that you could have blended those two groups together, I'd have done it years ago. Or actually, more accurately, I'd have got someone who knew what they were doing to do it for me years ago. It then drops down into an isolated drum and bass, which then goes into this little doodling synth part, which almost sounds like the rest of the band are collectively turning their pages, getting ready for the next bit, as he's just doing that in the corner. That's quite odd, actually. And it wasn't the most effective part of the song. It's probably the only bit that I stopped from. I was totally engaged all the way through. And that bit, I was like, why are they doing this? But anyway, they can do what they like. Then the next verse. And around the 4:10 mark, he goes into full burn warbling mode. And I really like it. It's just, you know what I mean, where it's and then the band jam out, and that high bass feelers guitar motif comes back in, which really is quite divorced from all the other sounds, but for some reason it works, and I really, really like it. Even Wonky Casino wakes up to usher us out of the community hall as the performance finishes. We have to leave because apparently there's another booking in the hall. And the sweet sounds of the local Banjo Appreciation Society drift through the exit doors as we go, just clearly, merging into the next track.
Right.
But I even love that at the end. It's awesome. This is a really enjoyable track, and it had full of recognizable elements for me, but all put together. It's like individual ingredients, but you then combine it, have its own flavor. Overall, I had a really sort of nourishing feel to it for me. I suspect that I will enjoy this more and more with every subsequent listen, which I certainly will do. Yeah, this is corker.
I knew it. I didn't know if you'd known the band, but I knew that if you didn't, you'd love this song. So I'm glad that it went over with you like I thought it would, and that you hadn't heard it before, so we could use it to this opportunity to bring it to your attention. Yeah, great track by a really cool band. So yeah, Clap Your Hands Say Yeah are an indie rock band active since the early 2000s in and out of Philadelphia. The band was founded as a collaboration between singer-songwriter Alec Onsworth, Sean Greenhalgh, Robbie Gurton, Lee Sargent, and Tyler Sargent. Onsworth now performs under the name as a solo artist at this juncture. Clap Your Hands Say Yeah has released a total of 6 albums. Their self-titled debut appeared in 2005, and their most recent, New Fragility, in 2021. And Onsworth first started writing songs during high school, and by 2003 was playing small gigs and pursuing various opportunities to get his music heard. Working in his basement studio in Philly, he would test new material on acoustic guitar at a weekly two-song slot at a drag performance at the local venue L'Etage. He then worked on songs further in his basement using a drum machine, bass, guitars, keyboards, and vocals. He soon formed a band consisting of the aforementioned Sean Greenhalgh on drums, keyboardist, guitarist Robbie Gurton, and brothers Lee, guitar, vocals, and Tyler on bass, Sargent. Go ahead.
Just stop you there. I have a quick question. You mentioned the guy's name, Greenhalgh. How is that spelled?
Greenhalgh is spelled Greenhalgh.
Yeah, it's pronounced Greenhalgh.
Hulsh. Okay, like an SH rather than a J.
Yeah, I know someone who's got that surname. It's an old sort of name from north of England into the borders of Scotland, and it's And everyone pronounces his name wrong. Who doesn't know him? But yeah.
Well, what's funny is that
Greenhouse.
I looked up the pronunciation yesterday just to make sure I got it
Really?
right, but it was like this
Well, that's the
computerized
British.
voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the British. I've done that as well, and I
yeah,
got 18 different bloody answers.
yeah.
But that's the British pronunciation of that.
Well,
So there
and
you
it
go.
sounds like that's the proper pronunciation given the geographic location that you said the name sort of comes from. So, Greenhalgh it is. So yeah, he would frequently commute to New York for rehearsal from Philly. The chosen name derives from some graffiti spotted in the Gowanus section of Brooklyn. Huge letters on a wall, clap your hands, say yeah. Initially planned as an interim name for one show only, the moniker stuck and was never changed. The band started to record their material and initially planned a 4-song EP. Yet, granted extra studio time, more songs were written, and the EP expanded to become their self titled debut album, Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah. Recorded between Providence, Rhode Island, and Red Hook, Brooklyn, it was made for under $5,000 and produced and mixed with Adam Lazis, or Lazis, perhaps. Now you've got me second guessing all these last names. And it was first released completely independently in June of 2005. With an independent DIY and direct to fans ethos, the band hand delivered copies of their debut album to stores in New York and Philadelphia, where they also developed a fan base, including celebrities such as, and brace yourself here, it's the two Davids, David Byrne and David Bowie, both of whom attended their shows.
Oh, that's. Can you imagine? You're
No,
a
I couldn't
youngish
even.
band, and these two fuckers turn up.
And yeah, and two guys that clearly have had an influence on your sound, right? You know what I mean? Especially Byrne and being like,
I
oh yeah,
just, I mean, I would shit myself, but the nature of people in bands is they've got that look at me gene in them, so they
yeah,
probably wouldn't,
yeah. But they were really on the inside. They were shitting themselves. Believe
Oh yeah, big time,
that.
big time. That's amazing. That's
I
so
know.
cool.
And so it is so cool. Especially so early in your like you just put out a five
Yeah,
grand album and two of the biggest names in like your brand of music wanted to come out and see
yeah,
you.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
like get out of
Oh,
here. So early social media exposure on sites like MySpace, we mentioned them earlier when we talked about Arctic Monkeys a week or so ago. And favorable reviews in then up and coming online media, particularly from the music website Pitchfork, helped Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah build a constant following, a dedicated audience, and commercial success. Although the band still had no official record deal in the United States, they had signed a distribution deal to make the album available to a wider audience. In the UK, the band signed to independent record label Wichita Recordings. Blender, The Guardian, The Irish Times, Mojo, and Q all rated the album 4 out of 5 stars. The Village Voice would grade it an A minus, and Pitchfork awarded it a whopping 9 out of 10. Maybe one of the few things they've gotten right. According to Billboard, Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah is deserving of the hype for what it is. Quite possibly a nearly perfect album. The album was listed as one of the 50 most important recordings of the decade by National Public Radio's All Songs Considered. Chris Nordang of The Skinny wrote of this track in his review. At almost 6 minutes long, the skin of my yellow country teeth builds up a beehive of buzzing pop pleasantries, which makes you laugh, makes you cry, changes your life for an instant, and by the time it's over, it's so close to near damn perfect that the song must have emerged from a dream. Max Ufberg, or Ufberg, again, surnames, a former writer for Medium, The New Yorker, Wired, and The Washington Post, wrote a stellar retrospective on the album and his experience with Onsworth, surnames. Indulge me while I read this blurb from that piece. Even today, when the band's formula has been copied by enough musical acts to constitute a 24/7 playlist for succulent adorned cafes across the country, that debut record holds up. Go ahead, listen to the skin of my yellow country teeth. The closest thing, Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah, had to a mainstream single on the album. Listen to the synth. Listen to the synth and the drum work in tandem to thrust the song forward with a hallucinogenic sense of urgency. Hear the guitar shimmer and noodle alongside the rhythm like some kind of cosmically urgent ambulance siren. Try to make sense of what Alec means when he careens through lines like, "But let me tell you, I have never planned to let go of the hand that has been clinging by its thick country skin to my yellow country teeth." In its glowing review, Pitchfork said his voice sounded like Paul Banks attempting to yodel through Jeff Mangum's throat. I have no idea what that means, nor do I suspect did the writer. It's a capital G great record. Now, let's dig into these lyrics a little bit more deeply. One of the dogs had quit their barking. "Son," my neighbor said to me, "know the emptiness of talking blue, the same old sheep. Run, I'll do no more this walking, haunted by a past I just can't see anymore. Well, let me tell you, I never meant to let go of the hand that's been clinging by its thick country skin to my yellow country teeth, to my yellow country teeth." Interlude, refrain. Far, far away from West Virginia, I'll try New York City. Explaining that the sky holds the wind, the sun rushes in a child with a shotgun can shoot down honeybees that sting. Oh, this boy could use a little sting. All right. Who will get me to a party? Who do I've yet to meet? You look a bit like coffee and you taste a little of me. How can I keep me from moving? Now I need a change of scenery. Just listen to me. I won't pretend to understand the movement of the wind or the waves in the ocean, or how, like the hours, I change softly, slowly, plainly, blindly. Oh me, oh my.
So it's clearly an anti-drugs message showing the dangers of not only to your teeth but to your mental health. Fair enough.
I do think there is this air of moving from small town nowheresville and that history you leave behind when you go to try to move off to the big city. Why he chose West Virginia when he's from a already very large East Coast city in Philadelphia, I don't know, but it's an interesting song and subject matter.
Or the movement from general emissions to isolated ward. Yes.
Yeah, that too. That possibly. Yeah. Also, brush your fucking teeth. So there you have it. Clap your hands, say yeah. I'm a big fan of these guys, or this guy at this point. And yeah, this was one of those many early 2000 albums that just kind of grabbed me and pulled me back into the indie garage and all that whole scene. So
yeah, I mean, I do remember when they came out, and I remember there was a fair amount of underground hype about them rather than mainstream hype, so they were a name that was out there. I do remember that. I love the fact you said about their name coming from graffiti, and it just reminded me, I've got a picture, it's one of my favorite photos of all time, and it's just of this bridge with graffiti on it, and it says simply, "Sharon, I do not hate you." I think for someone to take the time to write that in 3-foot high letters, it's just awesome.
I love that. I love that.
And she may not have even seen it or known it's that particular Sharon. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
No, I do like that they took that. I think this is a great track, and I'm gonna go and dig into this album, definitely.
Awesome, man. I'm really, really glad you liked it. I'm really, really glad you liked it. Guys out there, let us know what you thought of this track. If you're familiar with it and the album, let us know your thoughts. Perhaps other stuff John should keep an eye out for, since he's clearly going to endeavor to check these guys out a bit more. If you were reminded of any other acts or artists giving this song a listen, just feel free to drop whatever you like down in the comment section. Just be kind to us and each other. That's the only price of admission. Also, please, while we have your attention, think about liking, sharing, and or subscribing. any and all of those things go a huge step forward for us in getting the channel out there and the algorithm working in our favor. So we really, really do appreciate it. And hopefully, if you stumbled upon this and found this song or any song interesting, by liking it, it might propagate the possibility of someone else coming across it for the first time and liking it. And that's what we're about, paying it forward and sharing good music, whether it's through you guys on Fridays or John and I the rest of the week. It's all about just sharing good tunes here. We really do appreciate y'all. All that out of the way, hopefully John and I will see all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audiophiles. We'll see you later, guys.